Now this summer, if you're looking to be more active than ever, then this is going to be a product that you may want to check out. We have been reviewing a series of bikes and scooters on the channel, and every now and then there comes a product that is unique and it really gets us very excited. And actually, that's what's happened to us with the ADDMOTOR. This is the ADDMOTOR M66 R7 Cruiser. Now, what's special about this bike is the fact that it can carry two people, and it carries them really, really well. Noel and I have been riding this bike together, and we've been having a blast, both of us, on this bike as it's been taking us to get groceries or even to go to the local ice cream shop. So, this bike has a step-through frame, has a 750 watt brushless motor, and a 7-speed Shimano system, right? So you're able to pedal, and also it has pedal assist as well. That's going to give you multiple levels of pedal assist. Now this bike is rated up to 80-mile range on one charge, has a top speed of 20 miles per hour, and has a max capacity of 300 pounds. So if you're either riding with someone or not, it just means that you can carry groceries, you can carry other things with you, which is something that we do. It has puncture resistant tires, 20-inch by 4, and the tires are Kendall puncture resistant tires. So they just have a great ride time and also have great tread, which means that as you're riding these, you have both comfort and you also have the surety that you can have good traction, as well as the fact that you don't have to worry too much about catching a flat somewhere out on a ride. Now, another cool thing that is, I think it's the first one on the channel that we see this way, is a left and right turning signal. Yeah, so as you're riding, you can't hit the brakes, but then if you're turning left or right, there's little markers that tell you that, and you can control that in the steering column or in the handlebar. Now, again, as we mentioned, this is a 7-speed Shimano system and does have disc brakes. Really stops well. The actual Shimano system is really, really smooth as we're switching from gear to gear. That combined with the 7-speed pedal assist gives you a really great experience. Now, for those of you who are concerned maybe about weather, there's nothing to worry about. The bike is also IPX5 rated. Now, the very first thing we're going to take a look at from the M66 is going to be the actual tires themselves, and we'll work our way through the entire bike. First of all, I got to say, fantastic treads on these Kendall tires. These are puncture resistant tires, 20-inch, 4-inch wide, and the riding experience is great. And again, because this is a bike that can support two riders, Noel and I have ridden this bike. The tires perform really well. We didn't have any issues with riding them either as an individual or as a couple. And what you'll notice is in the back, again, the color treatment, the actual rims themselves, everything fits so nicely. And I do love that racer red that you see right there, that treatment that you have in the fenders. Now, the fenders are metal fenders, and you can see how the black and red with silver kind of is treated throughout the side of the actual bike. And then you see also some decals that kind of go and accent this color choice. Now, one of the cool things that I want to show you is the actual LED, because the LED in the back has some cool features too. All right, now the very first thing that you're going to notice is the fact that the rear LED is lit. Okay, so nothing really to be excited there, right? Because most of the bikes that we reviewed have a rear LED. However, this is the cool piece right there. So as soon as I press this button, you're going to notice that we do have some turning signals. Check it out. We're going to press that right there. Isn't that cool? So you have a left and right turning signal that you can use to actually indicate if you're turning left or right. And I think that this is a great safety feature. Now, another cool feature that you have that really supports the two riders is that you have these riding pegs on the side. One of the things I will tell you about this is that while they look cool coming out, if you're only riding on your own, make sure that you have these up, because if it hits your shin, they're not as fun. But when you have somebody riding on the back part of your saddle, this is definitely going to be great to give that person more support. Now, this bike does have a footrest area. I've tried using it. I would say it's probably not as useful for me based on my height, and it's probably going to be the case for many people. But it makes it really easy to get on and off the bike because it doesn't have the high bar. You'll see here that the pedals are pretty standard, right? So you're going to see your markers here for reflectors. It does have some grip here, so it has these little pegs right here that's going to allow you to have what I would say better grip. I like the way how the chain is tucked away and hidden in here, and I love the treatment that you see here. The battery, we're going to take a look at that in a couple seconds, but the battery has two things. First of all, not only does it have a key removal, but it also has a fuel gauge that is also kind of like a safety feature or a hidden anti-theft feature, because in order to turn on the bike, you need to turn on the battery first. A lot of people won't know that. Now here's where you would put your key to be able to turn, to remove the battery, so it would come out just by turning it. And then right here, there's like a little button that it will press in a second, and then by pressing this, this is basically going to enable the battery so that power is flowing out so that you can turn on the bike. All right, so the fuel gauge is found here, and as soon as you press this button once, it's going to light up. And again, this is going to allow the bike to power up. So as soon as you do that once, even if it turns off, that's kind of signaled the bike that you can turn it on. In the front of the bike, you do have another fender. Again, same, I would say that racer red or candy apple red with the two-tone metal as well. Reflector, really, really bright front headlight. You do have an electric horn, which we're going to see in a second, that's hidden right here behind it. The actual fork itself, or the actual suspension, front suspension, it looks very motorcycle-like, and it does have some I would say adjustment that we'll see in a couple seconds. Now the front fork does have some adjustment here, so you can loosen or have a firmer ride. I like somewhat of a firm ride. I find that if the front is just too bouncy, my wrist hurts. So this is kind of like where I'm preferred or have my preferred adjustment. Now, one other cool feature about just the steering column and also handlebar is that you can actually tilt this up to get more height out of the handlebar. Some of the bikes that we reviewed on the channel that have kind of like this motorcycle look, the actual handlebar rides very low, and it kind of forces you to lean forward. I find that very long rides, it's probably not the most comfortable experience you can have. So having this adjustment area right here where you can just with an Allen wrench open this up and then tilt it forward, which is going to raise the actual handlebar, is a plus. Now, how does cable management look? So there are some cables that come out, and pretty much this is the area that you see the busiest when it comes to the bike. Everything tucks away real nicely, and you really don't see any other cables anywhere else. So I'm going to give it definitely a thumbs up on cable management, because it just has the absolute necessary cables. So you see, you know, your 7-speed Shimano system. You do see your brake cable that you need, your, again, display, as well as your control, I would say control panel on the side is the only cables that you see coming out that comes down into the front fork and then throughout the bike. Now the first thing that we'll focus on is, again, this control area here. So you do have the ability to switch your passive assist mode or your pedal assist modes. You're able to go up, you're able to go down, and the display that you see over here is actually changing as I do that. You can see how it goes up and how it goes down. You do have your power button here. This is going to be your signal marker change. So as you do a left turn, you can see how it's flashing right here. If you're going to do a right turn, oops, you're going to do a right turn, it will also do the same thing. Let's go ahead and make sure we're not pressing that button. All right, there it goes. So you can see the marker actually flashing all the way over here. And then it does have a horn. You heard me press it a couple times. So this middle button here is going to be the horn, and it's rather loud. I like that. It does have a old style or the type horn as well, or the bell, and this is really loud, and it's because it's a metal one, so it's louder than some of the other ones that I've seen on bikes that I reviewed on the market. So I like that both of these are going to be really loud and someone's going to hear you. It does not have hydraulic brakes. It has standard brakes, as you can see here, but they're very responsive, and they are disc brakes. Now on this side you have your throttle, so you can see where your throttle is right here. You do have the ability to, by pressing this button, to really control your speed by simply turning the throttle here and using this as an e-bike with no pedal assist. So simply by pushing this button, you go from pedal assist mode to, you can go to 100% electric, where if you're not pedaling, you'll definitely get the power in your wheels. And I've been seeing a little bit over 20 miles an hour. There seems to be a governor on this, so it's locked at that speed. I've been seeing 20 with one person on it and also with Nilda on it, both of us riding at the same time. It's been 20. Now here's your 7-speed Shimano system. Everything is pretty much the same for gear up and gear down type settings. It responds well, and then you have your braking system. I would say that you have some nice wrist rests right here, so this is very comfortable as well. While there is a separation here and you're able to tell the difference between, again, your throttle and, again, your rest area, I'd be mindful to always set this to 0 or to disable the auto, I would say electric, so that the bike doesn't run away from you, because if this button's enabled and you grab this by mistake, you can turn it and the bike will go. Now there are a couple accessories that you can invest in that I highly recommend, especially if you're going to ride this with a second person. So this is a rear back support. Basically what you would do is you would move the tail light that you have there, the LED, and that would connect here. It would move further back, and then these screws that you see here would mount and it would connect over here. So this is going to be great if, again, you're going to be running regularly with someone on the back. Now, another accessory that I would recommend is this is a cargo or carry accessory. Goes in the back, same place, and this is going to allow you to maybe put like a saddlebag or tie some groceries down and carry them with you. You'll notice in the back here that LED marker that we see in the back that has the turning signals and the LED also gets mounted on this. So if you go with the extended seat support for the back support, you're going to have it, or if you go with this one, you're going to have it as well. On this side, you'll see the disc brake system, which is exact duplicate of what you see in the back. Very responsive, no noise, super quiet. Really enjoy both the braking and the overall ride experience. Now, the LED itself is very bright. Let's go ahead and turn that on. You can see how it lights up, and you can see how bright it is on my hand. So at night, people are going to see you, no problems at all. Now, the display is incredibly legible, so this is going to work in any area, and it feels very premium. Everything about this bike feels very premium. And all you do is you press and hold one of the buttons, and the light will turn on and off. So as soon as you turn on your markers, all your lights on, the front display also lights up. But you can see here how easy this is to see. So you're going to see your power, you're going to see your trip, you're going to see your overall mileage on the bike. You'll be able to switch to different pedal assist modes, right? And you'll notice that as you go through it, you get additional settings right here that are reading out just different, almost like speed, as you go from standard to power to speed, which is the 7th gear. And then we'll just continue to go down. So you can see how that's the power as you go down. It just continues to go through each one of those speed settings. But like I said, total speed for me has been no more than 20 miles. With a passenger or without a passenger. R7. Hey guys, now today we're doing a special review of the M66 R7 electric bike from ADDMOTOR. And I have to say that I think this is the very first time that we're doing a review with two people on an electric bike. And this is a fantastic two-seater bike that actually comes with some cool accessories that allow you to have kind of like a backrest, as well as also a cargo support in the back. As you can see, I have with me Nelda today. Nelda, say hi.
Hello.
Hey guys. So, and we're actually not only doing a review, but where are we going, Nelda?
Going to get ice cream.
Yeah, we're going to go get some ice cream. And let's talk about a little bit about this bike as we're headed to get some ice cream. First of all, this bike has some puncture-resistant tires, right? This is Fat Boy 20-inch fat tires, 4-inch tires. They're going to give you a fantastic ride experience. We have a front fork adjustable suspension system that is doing really, really well. And as you can see, also what I have in front of me, everything is really easily to access. 7-speed Shimano bike, so I have all my gears right here. Very nice and really, really easy to read display here. 7 passive assist modes, and I'm going to give you a spoiler. Nelda and I have been riding this bike, and we've actually been able to get 20 miles per hour with 2 people. That's what's pretty fantastic about this. Now, it also has all the controls here on the side when it comes to, the passive assist modes. You can go up to 7 here. It does have the power button as well. And then you also have some other things that are going on here. An electric horn. And you have left and right turning signals. That's what's so cool. Now, in addition to that, you'll notice that we do have some palm rests here on the side. These palm rests really make it enjoyable to ride this bike. And we're going to see our top speed. Right now, I have full electric. 20.4 is what's reading on the speedometer here. And we're on passive assist mode 7. You do have also a non-electric bell. So you could either do the electric bell or you could do the non-electric. And you do have disc braking systems in the front and in the back. This bike does also feature cruise control. And let's see what else there's about. Oh, it's a step-through bike that makes it really easy for you to get on and off of this bike. Now, Nelda, tell us from a passenger perspective, how are things back there? How do things feel to ride?
It feels very comfortable, believe it or not, even with all the bumps. The suspension is makes it very comfortable for the ride.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that you guys will notice is on the back, Nelda's feet are supported by some pegs in the back. And how does that feel? Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful to have something to support my feet. And I'm not dangling, or trying to hold on to them. But no, it's great to have that feature added to the bike.
Yeah. And even though this doesn't have an adjustable seat like some of the traditional seats that we've seen on bikes before, I find that the pedaling, like, so if we're going to pedal a little bit so you guys can see, I find that my knees do come up a little bit higher, and right now I have pedal assist mode 7, so it will kick in a couple seconds, and let's go ahead and do that so you can see. So this is now the pedal assist mode. It will come up to speed, but you'll notice that my knees come up a little bit higher. So this is more of a cruiser, so I think you would use this, you would do some pedaling, but it's not like the traditional bikes where you can raise kind of like the saddle so that you could get a longer stride. So I'm going to extend my foot down, and you can see how I can't even stretch my leg fully. Now, like with a traditional bike, and I'll extend my foot down, you know, you'd want to be able to put it a little bit lower, but the saddle, because of the way that this is more like a motorcycle saddle, it's not going to allow for that. So I can pedal, but when I pedal, and you'll see this right here, Nilda complains about something. What's happening behind there? What do you feel?
I feel like I'm just going and swerving side to side.
Yeah, she gets that side to side motion because I got stubby legs, and then with this, it just doesn't work out well. Now let's talk about how the bike rides. Outside of just the comfort level of having 2 people on it, the fact that this bike is able to achieve 20 miles an hour with 2 people is pretty impressive. The gear system, as we switch from Shimano, switching from first, second, or third is pretty straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and change the gear right there. Change the gear. It really clicked in really nicely without any problems. Now, one of the things that I find that's unique about this bike also is the fact that it does have lane assistance technology. I'm not going to say that it's like the cars where it actually helps you move from left to right, but we're wearing some helmets right now, and the helmets that we have right now do light up to show if you're moving left or turning right. But this bike actually has, through these little buttons right here, the ability for you to turn on a turning signal that is found in the back that allows you to tell the person that's following you that you're going to turn right or you're going to turn left. I think that's super cool. It's the first time that we actually see that. It does have a front-facing LED that is really bright also for night rides. So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.